So imagine you on the internet and you thinking to yourself, oh, my bills are due. Oh, tax season. Oh, I need to schedule Johnny's doctor's appointment. Little baby Melissa has a parent teacher conference. And a host of other things happening along your life. Someone needs to set your fantasy football league sitting at a comfortable 4-1. I'm coming for the all head leader of our division. You're going down this next week. But there's a host and a plethora of things that we as human beings and individual wouldn't mind having done for us. But the important part to remember is, would the person we want to do it, do we need them to be a person, and do we need them to be accountable for their actions? And in both these situations, OpenAI is planning on finding a way of making this a non-factor, giving us the first everything app. And I know Elon Musk, big body, little head, having ass, is punching the air right now because this is what he wanted X to be, but he didn't have the vision, or rather, he had the vision, but he didn't have the execution. I mean, he can barely he can barely keep Twitter up and running. But that's what goes without saying. Sam Altman not only has the vision, he has the capital, and with his move with AMD this morning that shot the stock up 34%. Shout out to the people holding 50 shares for no reason. Damn, I was wondering when this shit was going to hit. But this is creating a microcosm for me of concern because OpenAI, how much more do you need? How much more do you need? You got Nvidia, you got AMD, Intel, Microsoft, Google, a host of other companies, MUs on the market, AVGO. Like, what more do you need to make your product viable? Why? Like, you're a private company, a private entity. What's stopping you from going public so we can see the infrastructure? Why is it that everyone that breaks away from this company is a micro company to help fix OpenAI, right? There's so many questions we have, but I think one of the bigger questions I want to be able to answer is, one, what's the viability of this everything app and the security questions we might have for it? But more importantly, with maybe everything doesn't need to be done on there. And one thing that probably doesn't need to be done are all of these videos on Sora. Because one thing's for sure, in a situation where people are allowed to steal and manipulate and abuse intellectual property, black culture and black people will be abused and exploited first. So we've already started to see the microcosm of that. I want to explore that a little bit, but more importantly, kind of just talk about how all of these shifting ideas in the tech world really is causing a dire situation that we don't have any tools to fight back. Not only do we not have any tools to fight back, our laws don't have any, there's no existing laws. Our laws are outdated, and actually the only way you can combat this is through information. But what happens when literally everybody, 800 million people a day, are going to the problem asking for the truth? You can't destroy the master's homes with his tools. Let's talk about it. Clap it. Yes, you are, Yag. Yes, you are. Best mod this side of Mississippi. How you guys doing? Hopefully you've been catching my videos here and there. I appreciate y'all stopping by. It's lovely. It truly is. So if you could do me a small favor, like, share, subscribe, all those things you're supposed to do on YouTube. There's this new button called hype. Put some hype on my shit. Put some hype on my shit. Is it too late to learn how to code? I'm 42. No. Now, do I think it's too late for you? Maybe. Is it too late to learn how to code in general? No. But is it too late for you? Maybe. I'll tell you why at the end. Stick around. This is my way of keeping you to the end of this video. I'll give you the answers if you stick around. But today I want to talk a little bit about OpenAI and all of the bullshit. Not really bullshit. It's like a internalized fear, right? It's like I'm really nervous about what's happening. I'm nervous, but I'm like, this is exciting, but I'm also very nervous. So let's just digest it all and let's get into it, shall we? I need to increase the text so my dyslexia doesn't kick in. On Monday, OpenAI unveiled a new way of embedding third-party apps directly into ChatGPT. At the company's annual developers conference in San Francisco, CEO Sam Altman, I was supposed to go to this. But the way my checking in savings account was set up, I wasn't gonna get reimbursed until I was in Japan, and I need that Japan money up front. Somebody send me some money. Said that the move would enable new generation of apps that are adaptive, interactive, and personalized that you can chat with. They better be doing more than talking to me. I don't want my fridge talking to me. I want my fridge telling me what food in my fridge is about to expire so I can eat that first. Right? I want my fridge to figure out by smelling if my food is expired. I want my microwave to tell me when my food is hot enough that it's going to taste good, but it's not too hot that it's going to burn my mouth. We should have that's what AI needs to be doing for me. Starting today, some developers will be able to use preview versions of the new app software development kit SDK to build within ChatGPT using open standards. The ability to distribute these apps is currently limited to a handful of big partners. Altman showed off several examples on how these apps would ultimately work within ChatGPT. The demo featured a Spotify, Canva, Zillow app. This might be useful. I'm looking to buy some property, but I don't want to be a slumlord. Would you guys judge me if I became a slumlord? I wouldn't be a slumlord, but I do want to own some properties. I want to own some property. I'll take care of them. I take care of my stuff. I want to own some property. Appearing inside of the ChatGPT, responding to types of commands. In one example, OpenAI software engineer Alex launched a chat directly to Canva app and prompted Canva to draw up a poster for a dog walking business. This is the bullshit I'm talking about. This isn't a viable product. Because if I wanted to make a dog walking company, I wouldn't ask AI to make a poster for me. I would go out in the real world, walk some dogs, and take pictures of that. Because that's way more convincing. See, one of the ways that you're going to be able to fight back is because the one thing about buying and selling things, the human element pushes the deal. There are some things that need to be simplified. Like if I go to the store and I just want to check in and check out, that can be fully automated. But the sales aspect of it, the entrepreneurial spirit, you can't use AI for this. This example is designed to make people who don't know what a dog walking business looks like. Because even at the level of the people who are in this meeting, they don't walk their dogs. Their house help walk their dogs. This is meaningless. From there, he asked it to pitch a deck in order to raise capital for the business. This is so stupid. Because all they really know is VC capital. It's just a VC capital circle jerk. What's this dude's name? Alex then asked ChatGPT to suggest a city that would be ideal to expand to the business to. It offered Pittsburgh for those wondering. This is so stupid. Next, this is really dumb. Okay, let's see if the Zillow one was better. Next, it called Zillow's ChatGPT app and asked it to show it homes for sale. That's something you can do on your own. This brought up an interactive. Okay, that's called a filter button. Okay. That's called a filter button. What are we doing? Brought it up an interactive map showing houses for sales. Alex asked ChatGPT to refine the results. Just 3-bedroom houses with a yard. That's a filter you can add in ChatGPT. Altman said that OpenAI, this is useless. OpenAI plans to introduce new ways of developer monetizing ChatGPT apps, including a method for buying things through the chatbot. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting. Soon we're offering a agentic commercials protocol. This should have Amazon's butthole clenching. And if not, Amazon should be looking to join up with them. Because what does this mean? Right? What does this mean? In fact, I might want to, depending on what Amazon's trying to do, but imagine you're doing something on ChatGPT and you're like, oh, I need suggestions for this. Do you have any ideas with this? And it finds it for you so you can buy it. This might be powerful. Hey, I'm looking for a car with these type of specs. This might be powerful, right? But also, this could change the game. OpenAI could clear ChatGPT, Amazon, and introduce a real competitor in that direct, skip the middleman, direct to buyer situation. This is not OpenAI's first effort introducing ChatGPT apps. The company announced a way to build custom widgets. GPT Developers Conference 2 years ago, when GPT stores officially launched in January 2024. AI developers had created over 3 million GPTs. Ultimately, however, the widgets did not prove a big hit. Yeah, it was just, I remember when that first happened, they were very hard to integrate. Tokens were a major issue back then. So like now that they have that redefined version where you can kind of cache things, and they have a more expensive business model, more data centers are being added, I can see where the power of this comes in. But none of this is exciting. I've read almost half of this and nothing here is exciting. So since we can't talk about the excitement of it because there's nothing in it, let's talk about the problematic things with Sora, right? Sora, which has been using, Sora is their OpenAI's video version of this, and you've probably seen a host of videos out there about what people are doing with Sora and how they plan on using it. I just want to just very plainly say, OpenAI is stealing intellectual property, specifically from the internet, which is in large part, I don't really care where you land on this process, is brought to you in part by Black culture. So in a sense, OpenAI is manipulating and abusing Black culture for profit. This is nothing new to America. This is nothing new to American business process. And if you feel like I've said something very controversial, go ahead. Feel me? Go ahead, get up. I say this segment of the show is not for you. But in a world where you try and please everybody, you please nobody. So I'd rather please a few strangers. Music, dance, food, fashion, language, history, inventions, advancements, technology. All of these things can be downloaded, uploaded, and manipulated. And it's bad enough that they can take from people who are living. There's a host of videos that have been about Jake Paul and his mimicry and his abuse of and I can say this on behalf of Jake Paul. I think it's kind of weird that people are using his likeness and his image to make him do and say things he wouldn't do or say. So I think that's weird, right? But I think the part that's even more cynical is you knew that there was going to be a racist bunch of people, just brain rot people who have no benefits to society, who are going to take actual people from, for example, MLK, Martin Luther King, and put him in scenarios where he's saying things that he would never say. Right? They don't have the inventions. They don't have the ideas of using this technology to create. They only have it to use to destroy and make a mockery. So another thing is dead men tell no tales. So the fact that Black culture is highly a part of the social society, and the fact that it comes from deceased people who have no means of protecting their intellectual property, because a lot of the music that is sampled today comes from bands who were manipulated and abused and lost their rights to their music now. That's why you can hear random pop songs from back in the 80s and 70s all over Chili's commercials and Wendy's commercials, because those companies, those artists, those Motown artists don't have their rights. They don't own their intellectual properties. Their families don't own them. LLCs do, right? And the thing that I think is most problematic is not only is it going to be used to discriminate, because the facial recognition is nowhere near as good as it is for white people as it is for black people, because they test as few amount of people. No, not only is the fact when you read this title here, you think to yourself, oh, this is a great title because black people aren't experiencing depression from using AI at the same rate white people are. And you think to yourself, oh, hero, isn't that good news? Isn't that great? And I say no, very simply because that means they're not testing those people. They're not testing the impacts of how this happens. Right? They're not testing the impacts of what is happening to people here. For example, Black Women AI on overcoming historical patterns of abuse. So what does it take? It takes people like this who are willing to put themselves on the line to explore and understand this. More importantly, put people inside the room so that we can have the ability to advocate and bolster for ourselves. All that being said, the more we talk about it, the more of a, como se dice, resolution we could probably come up with. But I think it was just super important for us to just be able to reconcile. Just be able to reconcile with the fact that we are out of our depths and out of our leagues. We do not have the weapons or the means to control this. And once again, I said in the beginning, once the person who is in charge of maintaining the truth is the same place you go to get the truth, when you want to argue about the truth, but the place you're going to is the place you're being lied to constantly, you're already out of the battle. So what does this mean, right? You got to be able to protect yourself, but more importantly, you got to protect your elderly. If you have a loved one who's older, you need to make sure that they understand the bare minimum of question everything. It's really about critical thinking. And the older I get, the more I worry about my parents, because they just watch more and more TVs. I couldn't believe how much my mother scrolls through Instagram. And how that algorithm, the algorithm for Instagram of hers is so in tune to what she likes. It's so in tune to what she likes. So for me, it was very clear, we need to make sure that we can protect them. Second, you need to be able to speak the language. If you don't know how to program, shout out to the Trunk Life, who asked the question earlier in the show. If you don't know how to program, now would be a great time to learn. You got to be able to speak the language of the computers if you want to be able to control them. And then second, if you're looking to solve a problem, here's a great one. Figuring out how to decode bullshit from that AI spits out. Because the better you get at that, the more reliable you become. Because in a world where no one trusts anyone, human interactions become the only source of truth. Because you can't trust your eyes on the internet anymore. You can't trust your eyes, you can't trust your ears on the internet. There's still little ways you can tell looking at individual hairs. You can tell by singled out jewelry, teeth multiplying to people's mouths, fingers aren't still perfect yet, awkward body motions. These are all things that they'll perfect though. These are things that I can see. But the moment that I need to start uploading shit into Adobe After Effects or Adobe Premiere Pro to see if it's real or not, we've gone too far. So I think for me, that's where I'm kind of sitting at this. It's hard to be excited about all the things that OpenAI can do other than make me money in the stock market, because all of this stuff is going to hurt more people than it helps. So that's where I'm maybe on a somber note. Come on, hero. Don't be somber. Don't be a somber big back motherfucker. Come on, hero. I love your faces, but I appreciate you guys checking this out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. I admit I'm a doomer when it comes to this AI shit. Give me some good news in the chat below. You feel me? I appreciate your faces. I love you. Take care. Peace. Woo-hoo, we're done.